Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for our monthly installment, our October monthly installment of Final Expense Monthly Monday. For those of you who are new to URL or new to the Final Expense Marketplace or doing Final Expense with URL, the first Monday of every month, we dedicate it to having an opportunity for everybody to kind of reconvene and let us know what's going on in terms of your final expense marketing. This is also an opportunity for us to kind of share some different sales tips and things that we're seeing out in the field. Now, this is that time of year where a lot of people's focus has changed from final expense to Medicare. So we're right in that bewitching period where final expense sales kind of get pushed off to the side a little bit because the focus tends to go towards Medicare. If you're doing Medicare or considering doing Medicare, this is the time of year where people are kind of getting their ducks in a row and getting out there and getting in front of seniors. The clients who are purchasing Medicare are also the same clients who are purchasing final expense. So in today's agenda, we're going to discuss a few things. We're going to show you our final expense website on our URL website, where you can get quotes and where you can get marketing information and things like that. We will also discuss our final expense lead program and what the costs that are involved and how we subsidize those lead costs as well. We'll also be putting up some B leads for sale. These are leads that are 30 days old or older. So if you're interested in that, we'll show you how to obtain those leads. We'll also provide you with some sales tips, and then last but certainly not least, we will have an open forum. This is an opportunity for where you can tell us what's working for you out in the field that you'd like to share. What are some of the challenges or successes that you're having in the final expense marketplace? You can start typing those things out, and I'll read those aloud toward the end of today's presentation. I also would like to know if you're on the fence, determining whether or not you want to get involved in final expense. What can we do to help you give it a try? And so we'll discuss all of those things here later on. So thank you again for joining us for today's monthly Monday on October 2nd, 2017. For those of you who do not know about URL and our final expense portfolio, we have 14 different final expense carriers. Some of them cross over into the traditional markets like term, universal life, and whole life. Now, we don't recommend you getting contracted with all 14 companies, but you'll see that we have a robust portfolio. So a majority of your clients will be able to get coverage through one of these carriers. Worst case scenario, the client would have to get a guaranteed issue plan with a company like AIG or Gerber or someone else like National Guardian or Great Western. So those are all options that are on the table as well, and you don't see all of those carriers represented here. So when you want to see who's the most competitive carrier, go to our website, URL insgroup.com. You go to our quoting tools page, and you can click on Quote Final Expense. On the left-hand side, you will see that there's a little box there. It is much bigger on your computer screen, trust me. It allows you to put the client's date of birth, the state of the sale, the amount of coverage, level, graded, modified, guaranteed issue, and you can get the quote. On the right-hand side, the quote engine actually does the shopping for you and shows you the list of carriers and the monthly premiums. And it represents all the carriers that we have in our portfolio that participate in this quote engine. But you will see the one thing is with final expense, which is a little bit different than the traditional market, the rates are not too far out of whack. Usually we recommend that you get contracted with maybe 2 or 3 different companies, one of those companies being a guaranteed issue plan. You'll find that within a couple of cents, even to $1, maybe $2 difference per month in terms of rates. So you're really not doing a disservice to your clients, and some of the carriers offer some different bells and whistles than other companies. So you can discuss more about that with any of us here at URL, me particular. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt Alina, and I'll give you my contact information as well. It's matta@urlinsgroup.com, and also our toll-free number is 800-926-8875, and my direct extension is 141. Let's talk briefly about our lead program this morning. We have 2 lead options. We have mailers that are $29 a lead, and we also have teleleads, which are $19 a lead. The mailers and the teleleads, they're exclusive leads. You have your own defined sales territory, and it's a per lead order with a minimum lead order of 20 leads for each one. So you are guaranteed to get a minimum of 20 leads in your territory that you want. Now, what we do not allow is agents crossing over. So if you have a particular county and another agent comes in and says they want the county that you're in, depending on the number of leads that we're able to get out of those counties, will determine whether or not we'll let another agent in there. But it's first come, first served. So when you get that sales territory, you get those leads, they're your leads. They're never resold, they are yours. Now, URL does subsidize your lead costs based on your production. And you may have heard, if you've been doing business with URL, we have a Gemini program. And the Gemini program basically is an exclusive partnership program. And basically it asks that you consolidate all of your business with URL. And then by consolidating all of your business under URL, we're going to give back in more ways, compensation, and one of the things is lead subsidies. So for every $1,000 of annualized premium that you place in a month, we will give you $80 to apply towards your next lead order. Non-Gemini agents, we still will reward you for your production. So for every $1,000 of final expense business that you place on an annual basis, or monthly on an annual, we annualize that premium, we will give you $50 to apply towards your next lead order. So that's kind of what we do with our lead subsidies and our lead programs. Now, quite often I get questions as to where are you seeing the results of your leads? So to give you an idea, let me kind of show you a highlighter here. So this is where URL is located. We're located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is Dauphin County, south central Pennsylvania. And we have quite a few leads that are in the Lancaster area, Adams County, like Gettysburg area. We have quite a few leads there. We also have some leads up in the northeastern area of Pennsylvania as well. So some great opportunities there. Pittsburgh also, a great concentration of leads there. Now that's for Pennsylvania. Cuyahoga County in Ohio, which is the Cleveland area, there are a ton of final expense leads to be had there. So if anyone on the call today is licensed in Ohio and doesn't mind making a trip up to the Cleveland area, you'll see that you'll have some great returns on those leads. Some other areas, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., that area is also a high concentration of leads. We also have some leads just over the river from Philadelphia into New Jersey, so there's some opportunities there. The Carolinas are also doing fairly well into the Atlanta region of Georgia and so on. So that's what we have in terms of leads. And if you're interested in discussing more about a lead program, feel free to give us a call here at URL. We'll be happy to discuss that with you. Here's kind of a sample of what the lead mailer looks like. And it does explain that it's a life insurance policy, life insurance benefit to pay for funeral expenses, and it's available for tax-free Pennsylvania residents or whatever state it is. But these, again, are exclusive leads, and they're not resold. These are your leads. So when they come in, they're going to you and you exclusively when you order the leads. Now, one of the questions that we get from time to time is, how are the leads? Well, the answer that I want to give is a lead, and it really depends on your ability to be able to just get your foot in the door. And that's what these lead programs are designed to do, is to help you get your foot in the door so that you can talk to them about final expense. But for greater lead success, you will want to target lower income areas. Keep in mind, final expense life insurance is not for everybody. It's typically for people who maybe they're in lower income situations where if they passed away today, their families would be passing a hat around to pay for the funeral expenses. So those are the areas that you want to target. You also want to be consistent. So when you're doing a lead mailer or ordering teleleads, you want to be consistent. You want to continue to do the same thing. You don't, one lead mailer or one tele-lead order is not going to show you a good return on your investment. But if you constantly do it, and maybe you do it every month for a couple of months, where you do you do a mailer, or you do tele-leads, the more you do it, the more you'll see some success there. Now, when you do order leads, we do offer appointment setting sales scripts, and we also have sales scripts for what to say when you're at the client's home. Now, we do offer free leads, and we have those available. Basically, what it is it's a reduction in your commission that you would receive, and then we would basically pay for your lead mailers, so to cover those costs. Now, there are some production requirements for that. To discuss more about this and get more details, again, feel free to contact us here at URL. So for details on any leads and the availability of leads, feel free to contact me at 800-926-8875. My extension is 141. Now, for those of you who are really not looking to commit to any lead orders at this point, that's fine. We perfectly understand that. We do have B leads available. Now, again, B leads are leads that are 30 days old or older. The only stipulation to accessing leads is that these leads is that you are contracted with URL. We have leads. Majority of them the leads are in Pennsylvania. We have some in New Jersey, as well as the DC, Baltimore areas. So we do have some B leads that are available. So let me know if you're interested in ordering any of these leads. And the way it works is just let me know that you're interested. I will send you an invoice through PayPal. Once you pay that invoice, I will release the leads to you, and they are yours. And again, we can provide you with sales scripts on what to say and how to get your foot in the door to make that presentation and make those sales. Now, one of the things we've talked about in previous monthly Monday meetings is we have different sales tips. So one of the sales tips that has been a big, it's been by popular request, are what are the top 5 lead-in questions. Now, these lead-in questions, for those of you who have been in sales for a while, you know that lead-in questions are to expose a need, a potential need that the client might have. Now, I use this in a couple of presentations for Medicare agents looking to get into the final expense marketplace on how to cross-sell. So with the top 5 lead-in questions, one of the first questions that you could ask someone, now these are all hypothetical, these are questions that you can ask your client. One of them is, have you or someone you know ever been responsible for making funeral arrangements? How did it go, and did it create any financial problems? Chances are, if it went fairly well and they didn't have any bad experiences, aside from losing a loved one, you know, making funeral arrangements can be kind of a stressful time. But if it went fairly well, chances are there was money there. If it didn't go fairly well, then the chances are there wasn't enough money to carry out their loved one's final wishes. A final expense life insurance policy could be the solution to helping that family member or helping carry out the final wishes. Question number 2. Who would be responsible for your funeral arrangements when you die, and is that person financially prepared? So basically, maybe you're dealing with a client whose son or daughter is going to be preparing their funeral. Are they aware of it? They may think their children may be aware, or may think that, or assume that they're taking care of those funeral arrangements, but it really kind of drives home the idea that the client really should talk to whoever is going to be taking care of their funeral arrangements, that that's who they want to have complete their funeral. But also let them know it also gets them thinking about, is there enough money to pay for funeral arrangements? And if there isn't enough money, then a final expense life insurance policy could help that person be financially prepared. Now, for some of us, some of our clients are still working part-time jobs to make ends meet. So does your spouse have enough savings to protect against the immediate loss of your income? Keep in mind, a final expense life insurance policy can help keep the family afloat for a couple of months. in the event of that person's death. And so that would help guard against the immediate loss of an income. Question number 4. Now this is a big one if you're dealing with a widow or widower and their children, all that's left is their children. Question number 4, are you aware that bank accounts and assets are not available to your children immediately upon your death? People don't realize that from spouse to spouse, money passes from one to the other without any problems. But from a parent to a child, bank accounts and assets are not readily available. A final expense life insurance policy can be paid out to the children. It avoids probate and it avoids taxes. It's the easiest way to transfer assets from one generation to the next. And then question number 5 is a very direct question. If you don't take out a final expense policy, what alternative plan will you use for your family? So it's very direct. So again, some people have money in the bank, or maybe they've already prepaid for a funeral, or they have some kind of trust set up so that those funeral arrangements are going to be paid for. But a lot of our clients don't have that. A lot of our clients live in the now, so they're not planning from a month to a year, 5, 10, 20 years from now. A final expense life insurance policy is very easy to explain, easy to understand. All you're doing is explaining to the client that you have this rate and they're all budget friendly, and that the client's beneficiary is going to get the set amount of money that is dictated by the insurance policy. So you pay this, get that, and there's really nothing else to really discuss. You don't have to discuss the cash values or any of the other things. Now, we've talked about lead programs and everything else. We also have turnkey marketing programs in place for those of you that already have an existing book of business. Maybe you're already doing final expense, or maybe you're already doing Medicare. We have turnkey marketing programs that'll help you reconnect and address final expense to your Medicare with your Medicare clients. So those are some other opportunities that we do have with the final expense marketplace. But we want to hear from you. And as I mentioned at the beginning of today's presentation, we want to know what are some of the challenges that you're having and what are some of the successes that you're having as well. With challenges comes success. How are the leads working out for you? If you're purchasing leads, how are they working out for you? What are some of the negative things that are coming from it? And what are some of the good things that are coming from it? Not every lead is going to be great, but also not every lead is going to be bad. And it's all about referrals, and just keep doing what you're doing. What can URL do to help you become more successful in the final expense marketplace? It is not a difficult marketplace, but it's also not an easy one either, and we want to make it as easy as possible for you. Now, if you're on the fence about doing final expense, what can we do to help you give it a try? What can we do to obviously if you're apprehensive about it, you have questions, and with questions we have some answers for you. So what can we do to help you give final expense a try? So if you have any of those comments, questions, anything you want, you can type those questions, or you can raise your hand and I can unmute your phone or your microphone on your computer and you can ask those questions aloud. But at this point, let me just provide our contact information, and we'll also give you some time to type those questions and comments that I can read those aloud. My contact information again is 800-926-8875. My direct extension is 141. The senior vice, or the vice president of our Life Markets Division is Steve Clemens, and he's at extension 132. Our next monthly Monday meeting is going to be Monday, November 6th at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll have some new content, new sales materials, and some different sales tips as well. I'm not seeing any questions or any comments coming in at this time. So if you do have any questions or comments, you can always contact us at your convenience, and we'd be happy to help you with your next final expense life case or any life insurance cases that you're currently working on. For those of you who are in the Medicare marketplace, have a great open enrollment, and we look forward to helping you. And keep in mind, we have some great cross-selling materials available to you or for you so that you can make Medicare go from a good year Medicare season to an outstanding one. So thank you very much for your time. Good luck for Medicare agents, and we look forward to working with you again real soon. Until next time, I did get a comment in here. Cynthia, how do I get some cross-selling materials? Cynthia, I will give you a call here as soon as we hang up. We have some different sales scripts, and we'll discuss those options as soon as we end the webinar today. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for the questions, and we will talk to you all very soon. Until next time, have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you all very soon.